Bethany, and welcome to the Hogwarts Quidditch pitch. For all you muggles out there, here's a little insight into the favorite sport of the wizarding world. Unfortunately, we can't be seen by muggles, so we won't be able to actually play for you, but we'll do our best to show you how it's done. And since you guys are muggles, this video will be our little secret. Alright, you non-magic folk, here's the lowdown. This field is called a pitch. At each end of the pitch are 3 hoops in which players must throw the game ball to win points. Whichever team gets the most points wins, in case you hadn't guessed. Right there, you see our hoops and our keeper. This is Riley and Casey, they're beaters. Beaters are armed with clubs and are in charge of protecting their teammates against bludgers, which we'll get to later. Myself, Marissa, and Sam are chasers. Chasers are in charge of getting and keeping the game ball and scoring points. Unfortunately, the keeper you saw guarding the hoops moments ago fell off his broom and is now with Madame Pomfrey in the hospital wing. So, I'll just tell you what a keeper does. They're in charge of guarding all 3 hoops simultaneously and making sure the other team doesn't score any points. And last but definitely not least, meet Casey 2.0. She's our seeker. The seeker is the fastest and most important member of the team. They stay above the other players and keep their eyes peeled for the elusive golden snitch. For the men in the audience, this is called a broom. There are many broomsticks in the wizarding world, including the Nimbus 2000, Nimbus 2001, and the Mighty Firebolt. But since Hogwarts didn't accept FAFSA, we're broke and bought this cheap muggle thing instead. So you don't actually get to see us fly. Now to the game balls. This is called a quaffle. The quaffle is like a basketball. It's passed around from player to player and thrown through the hoops to score. Each goal scored is worth 10 points. Next is the bludgers. Right there. These are 2 black iron spheres that fly around the pitch trying to violently knock players off of their brooms and prevent them from scoring. And finally, the golden snitch. Right there. The snitch is a small golden ball with wings that flies around the sky almost at the speed of light, making it practically impossible to catch. Catching the snitch wins your team 150 points and almost always guarantees the game is yours, especially since a Quidditch game isn't over until you catch the snitch. Now for the rules. Rule number 1, players must stay inside the boundaries of the pitch so they can fly as high as they'd like. Rule number 2, timeouts can be called at any time and fouls lead to penalty shots, just like this muggle basketball thing. Speaking of fouls, there's over 700 possible fouls in Quidditch, and because you'd like to hear them even less than I'd like to talk about them, we'll just leave it at that. Rule number 3, contact is allowed, but players are not allowed to deliberately touch another person or their person. Rule number 4, no substitutions allowed. Even if a player is injured, the show must go on. Oh, my leg! Okay, we're done. And finally, rule number 5. Players are allowed to take their wands onto the pitch, but are not allowed to perform spells on opposing teammates or their broomsticks. Petrificus totalis! Now to the gameplay. The game starts when the referee releases all 4 balls from the circle in the center of the pitch. Alright guys, let's have a clean game. Ready, set. The bludgers and snitch fly off on their own. The snitch to hide itself from the seeker and the bludgers to start attacking the closest players. When the quaffle is thrown into the air, the game is on. Chasers score by sending the quaffle through any of the 3 goal hoops. All 7 players must constantly avoid being hit by the bludgers and accidental contact with the golden snitch, which would be a foul since only the seeker is allowed to touch the snitch. After a goal is scored, the keeper of the team scored upon throws the quaffle back into play. The game is over when the snitch is caught and the team with the most points wins. I hope you enjoyed learning how to play Quidditch and will teach your friends. And in case you're interested, the Hogwarts Quidditch team is always in need of new members. Tryouts are next Tuesday at 3 o'clock on the pitch. See you there. For the men in the audience, this is called a broom. There are many brooms in the wizard. Now to the game balls. This is called a quaffle. The quaffle's like basketball. That's stupid. Try. Oh damn! Contact is allowed. I forgot rule number 3. I forgot to say rule number 3. Hot stuff. What? I pressed the wrong button again. Oh. I hope you enjoyed play Quidditch.
I hope you enjoy how to play Quidditch.
That's not right.
Try again.